What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another Her Lounge podcast. All right, so if you're wondering why you're getting this episode so late this week, it's because if you live in Houston, Texas, and you sat through this amazing freeze that we had. So, that was interesting. Juan was on his way. We thought we were soldiers, y'all. We're like, no, we got this. Juan, come on over. Let's podcast at the house. Juan's like, all right, cool. I'll take all the back roads. It's going to take me long, but I'll get there. I was like, all right, cool. Let's do it. And literally, I think he called us back maybe, what was that, 10 minutes? He's like, I literally just moved my car and it's frozen.
Yeah, I said I moved my car earlier in the day because I was like, oh, okay, let me move my car because I know they're going to come so they have room in the driveway. And it was kind of light drizzle, and I was like, okay. I come back inside, and then later y'all tell me, all right, cool. It had only been like 30 minutes or so since I had moved my car. And then I was like, yeah, no, it's cool. And then I started taking all the stuff, to take everything in my car so I could take it over there. And my car was frozen. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to make it, guys. My car's frozen. I'd rather not take the chance. I can't afford to take the chance. So let me just stay in.
So they said there was 200 crashes that day.
See, that's exactly why I stayed, because I was like, man, I feel like if I go out right now, my luck, I'm gonna get hit. Somebody's gonna hit me. I don't know, because again, I haven't lived in Houston that long.
We don't know how to drive in this weather. We don't know how to drive in this weather. No one does. I don't care what anyone says, unless, like, my sister was like, y'all are making such a big deal. I'm like, okay, I get it. One, we are in 100-degree weather about, I don't know, what would you say, 85% of the time? No, probably 90% of the time. Okay, in Houston.
Yeah.
And now you're expecting us to know. The difference is she knows how to drive in snow because she's got snow tires still on her vehicle from when she lived in Boston, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, what's the big deal? And I said, okay, here's the big deal is the fact that when you live in Boston, that's snow. And so the city has now prepared and they put stuff out on the road, and, they already know what to do, right? Mm-hmm. I said, versus when do we have this weather? Like it happens once a year, so no one knows how to drive it. Yeah, exactly. Nobody, every time there's an election. No, I'm just playing. I said that under my breath. Yeah. Anyway, so I told her, I said, that's the difference. We don't know how to drive in sleet or whatever, ice. And so she was like, I guess. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. Because she was like, oh, I'm going to go to the store. I was like, nah, I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying right here doing nothing. I was like, and just figuring life out.
I can drive in it. I've done it before whenever I had a 9-to-5 job, but like back then, like I remember going, because whenever you go to a stop, you don't press on the brakes like you normally do. You'd have to tap and then go slow enough to know, like tap your way to a stop sign or something. Well, when I went out one time to go to my job, because they were like, you got to get there, and it's like there's snow and there's black ice everywhere in San Antonio. And I remember going, and I just remember seeing cars freaking flip out, and then it'd be hitting the curbs. And I was like, okay, stay away from that car. Stay away. Yeah. And I started like driving real slow just to get back. And I was like, man, I can't take that chance here in Houston. I was like, I know how San Antonio drivers drive, but I was like, I don't know how Houston is. They're pretty aggressive.
I mean, it was interesting. So it was crazy because Marissa was like, hey, are you like home? And I'm like, yeah. And so she's like, are we still podcasting? I'm like, are we in the same city? I'm like, no, man, we're not podcasting. I was like, I thought we were. You were going to come here, but then Juan's frozen, so we can't go. And so she was laughing. She goes, damn, I still need water. I'm like, Marissa, you cannot be getting water the day of. And I know people were fighting over water.
Yeah. It
was like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I favor, and I was telling people too, and I was dropping deliveries off. I was like, hey, man, because a lot of people didn't know, and a lot of elderly people didn't know either. And I was like telling them, like, hey, it's supposed to freeze again, so you might want to get some more water. And then some guy was like, oh, that's all they had, and it was like a small little pack of water. I was like, oh dang, I need to get more water.
Yeah.
I had to go to a different HEB to get some more stuff.
I always keep a pretty nice stack of water, and I learned that lesson from the last time that little freeze happened. But it's funny because when that freeze happened, I had plenty of water, but just no electricity, so it really sucked. But I'm glad we all made it. The store had to be closed for 2 days, so that was interesting.
And all you people up north making fun of us. Hey,
I know.
Come on, man. Take it easy.
Cut us some slack, y'all. Y'all, we couldn't survive in y'all's weather, just like y'all couldn't survive in our humid 100-degree weather. Like every time, like at the store when people are visiting from other states, right? And like especially the East Coast, they'll say things like, how do y'all deal with this? And I'm like, well, we feel the same way about y'all. Like, how do y'all deal with that cold? Because we don't know. I mean, look at what I'm wearing, y'all. I'm wearing a Herr Apparel turtleneck sweater. Thank you very much. That's still available online if you want to go get you one. I'm wearing my little wannabe Uggs, and that's all right because they look just like them. Don't worry about the stain. I'll tell y'all what happened there. And then wearing these old leggings. But y'all, I just discovered Costco, and don't make fun of me. Do not make fun of me. I just discovered Costco with my sister. I thought I had been into Costco, but that was Sam's. So evidently it's two different stores. I thought they were the same thing, but Costco got the real deal stuff up in there. And I was like, what? So my sister gifted a jacket similar to this to Pete for Christmas. And I was like, why wouldn't you have gotten me one? And she's like, I don't know, because I didn't think you'd wear anything like that. I was like, did you get yourself one? She goes, well, no, because they didn't have my size when I went. And I was like, okay. So then she's like, hey, you should come to Costco with me today. I'm going to add you. I'm like, this is so dumb. Who comes to a store like this? I'm like, this is for like people with like 10 people in their family. You know, I'm like, the only thing I need, I told her, is toilet paper and paper towels. That's the and diapers, I said. Those are the 3 items I feel I would only need use of here. So she's like, okay, well, come so you can take the picture. I said, fine. $325 later, bro.
You're going to be a loyal Costco.
Oh, my God. It was like, here's the thing. Like, I buy these little pizzas for the girls, right? And 2 of them alone will cost me $6 something. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I found these pizzas at Costco that are even better ingredients, by the way. And there's 12 of them in there for like, I don't know, $11 maybe. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, well, there's one thing.
Yeah.
2, I buy yogurt. Pete and I have yogurt, and we have to buy them in packs of 4. So if each one of us has one as a snack, those 4 packs only last Pete and I 2 days, because one for him, one for me. So I found a whole box of the ones that I have. And so now it's like, my sister's like, y'all eat that much yogurt? I said, you got to calculate. 2, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is enough. Anyway, long story short, I walked out of where I was like,
I don't calculate anything. I take it one day at a time.
Yeah, she does. She's like, I feed myself. And on top of that, I'll call her. I'm like, hey, where are you? She's like, oh, I'm coming home from the gym. I'm like, I just made dinner. You want to stop by? Because she lives 1 street behind me. Yeah. So she's like, oh, okay, I'm on my way home. I'll stop there. So half the time she don't have to cook because she comes over to my house to have dinner. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so I'm like, so what exactly do you buy here then? If you're like single, she's like, I just get my toilet paper, like her basic needs. She goes, and I love to come shopping here. So all this clothes is at Costco, which I had no idea they had. And if you're listening to this and you're like, what? How do you not know? And I know, y'all, just Costco never sounded as it is. I don't like going grocery shopping. I order my groceries. So I don't like going in there because if you're like
it's more high end than Sam's, but it's basically the same.
It is? Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't like Sam's. So I was like, if I didn't like Sam's, I thought I'm not going to like Costco. But bro, I'm here for Costco. I am now officially a Costco member thanks to my sister.
Costco Mania.
Yeah. And so we went, and it was funny because I forgot what day. Okay, I think it was last week on Saturday. My sister's like, hey, so I need to go get a few items for this storm. She's like, because we're supposed to get it. She goes, and I want to be prepared. I don't want to be waiting last minute. I said, yeah, me either. She's like, I'm like, I already have enough water. I said, but I guess I can get another 2, you know what I'm saying? Just for shits and giggles. We don't know what's going to happen. She's like, I need batteries. And she's like going on and on. I'm like, all right. So I met her. That's when you called me that day when we were talking. I was there with my mom and my sister and Penny. Now we were like, my mom bought the girls like all these like winter clothes. She bought me she bought Pete some badass pants, and I was jealous of them. I'm like, I was like, now I want to go back and get them because they're like work pants, but they have like, is he here?
Yeah, babe, he's right here.
He's wearing them. Y'all, let him walk in and show y'all his Costco pants.
Yeah, show the leg.
Tell him how it feels inside, babe.
Oh, it feel like a wool sock is over your lower extremity.
It has wool. This it has this. Look, it has this inside the pants. How fun is that? And I was like, why didn't I get me some of those?
Like a frisky goat herder.
He said he feels like a frisky goat herder for those that didn't hear.
Oh my God. And I was like, and I'm all like curious, but my mom bought him those. She bought the girls some stuff. She bought me a cute little Sherpa jacket. And then my sister hooked me up with this. And then I was like, all right. And then I'm all coming home and I was like regretting it later. Because when I saw those pants, I was like, damn, I want some like those, but they're men's. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to see which ones. What size would I be? And then I was like, damn, my mom's buying us all this. Like, we're some little girls. Like, we're grown ass women. Mom, she's like hooking us all up. Like, she's even bringing something for her son-in-law and shit. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I was like, nah, I'll just take the jacket. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Just the jacket is fine. Don't worry about it. And then when I get home and I give him the pants and then he's wearing them because it's that day got really cold. I said, so how are the pants? He's like, man, they're dope. He's like, I'm all warm. And I'm like, damn. I was like, I wish I would have got some, bro. I was like, can I borrow one? So we're the same size anyway. So, but that's my Costco story, y'all. That's my Costco update story. And I can't, I am officially an old person because I enjoy going to Costco. I enjoy finding, the latest finds. Speaking of all that, though, it's quite interesting that they have stuff like Banana Republic in there. And I was telling Pete, I was like, I'm really curious how that happens. Like, how do they buy from this high-end store and now put it into the Costco? Like, how does that happen? Like I know TJ Maxx kind of does that. They get like the irregulars or like probably like when they get too many of something, those get sent to TJ Maxx and Ross and all those buys, all those things, right? So I'm just curious, like how they ended up with like Adidas in there. They have
probably branding deal. So like what they probably did was Banana Republic and Adidas probably aren't doing as good as we think they're doing, and so maybe they came up with like a thing so they could be.
And they send all their little plain Jane stuff.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, but they start getting their brand out there because you got to remember, like, we're like in a recession. So their business isn't as great as it was probably like a couple years ago. So just imagine like, okay, I need more distributors. Where could I get in on? And something like Costco or things like that could possibly be like, let's make an agreement. Let's make a deal. Okay, cool. I'll give you these. You put my items up and boom, boom, boom. Because you got to remember whenever those big stores and they start putting out those brands, same thing like with Walmart, you're paying for where you're going to be putting it in the store. Are they going to be showing it off? Like where placement. It's also like it's an agreement. They probably have like some kind of big deal where one or the other is paying them to have their stuff in there and then different proceeds and then percentages of the buys.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because I was like, Banana Republic? I was like, that's like a little higher end Gap. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like,
yeah, it's a collab.
I was like, that's very interesting. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, very impressed with Costco, y'all. So don't make fun of me. That was my Costco trip. But anyway, speaking of all this retail and all that stuff, since the store finally kind of, I guess we've all kind of already, the news is out there about, so at the store we have a partner or two partners that are leaving us. And one of the partners is right next to my section at the store. And it's a pretty big section. And the owner came and asked me if I was interested in expanding. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, as it is, I have, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be really like a lot. I don't really know. And so she was like, I think you'll be fine. She goes, and I think it'll actually all kind of be cohesive now because see, it's my brand against the wall. Then it's her brand, right? And then my other piece of my brand is in the middle. So does that make sense? So basically what's going to happen is my middle part is going to take over her section. So I'm expanding. And then my kids is going to be moving to the smaller section that I have in the middle. And so, so I'm expanding at the store now that we're talking about all this retail stuff. So I'm very excited about that. Which, spreads myself thin a little bit because, I got to like focus on really growing my brand. And that's kind of my goal for this year. I really do want to continue to grow my brand in a lot of ways. One of the things that I wanted to kind of like focus on is I saw this thing that said that we don't wear 80% of what's in our closet. And then I thought about you, Juan, because everybody always says like, they'll tease you about your sports coat, right? And I'm just like, that's one less decision he makes. It's like the genius thing. And it's like, if you just have, and if you're listening to this and you're like, duh, that's basic common sense. It is to those who like simplicity and are not really into fashion or don't care about clothing, right? But somebody like me who really enjoys fashion, who really enjoys all these things, which is obviously why I have a brand like this, because I enjoy these things. I go in my closet because I'm still winter cleaning. So just so y'all know, it happened all December and it's still continuing and it's like 3 weeks into January. But y'all, I'm almost there. It feels so good. It really does. And I hate that we're still in January. It should have been done, but it's okay. So when I saw this, I've really been on a lot of different retail trainings. Okay. So I've been doing a lot of these mini retail trainings, and because I'm expanding, I kind of want to add a lot more. I want to offer higher end items at a more reasonable cost, right? I think that was a little bit also what happened. This is my analysis, right? Of my online store is I think a lot of my customers were so used to buying things that were anywhere between $20 at the most $40, because my graphic t-shirts went from 25, 20, just depending on the design. And then my hoodies and stuff went up to 40. I remember the first time I talked to my graphic designer and he said, this is going to cost you this much to make. And I was like, whoa, I'm not ready for that. Right. And we're talking about DTG. And if you know what DTG is, that means direct to garment, which cost a lot more than screen printing. So because if a design has more colors, it requires a lot more, which is the reason why there's a shirt that I absolutely love the design. It says Mujer Poderosa, and I haven't made it again because it was a lot of work for Angel to do so many screens because I was trying to be cheap and not go through the DTG, which is more expensive. So when I started to add more fashion stuff, I feel like one of the things that hurt me was my prices now had to be higher. The thing is that I'm no longer just buying a blank shirt and designing something on it, getting it printed, right? And that's how I am able to, I calculate what it costs me to make the shirt, and then I have to make a profit because I am a business, right? But with retail, it's a lot different. You're not allowed to just buy, you don't get to choose how many items you can buy. Does that make sense? They sell them in bulk in a package. So it's a minimum of 6 in each box, right? And if you're only buying 6, you're only getting 2 of each size. So imagine that versus when I go buy shirts to print on, I know that I need to buy, 24 large, 24 mediums. You see what I'm saying? I mean, Juan, you've gone to purchase some blanks for us, So it's a little bit more control. You're able to control when you're designing and you're printing versus when you're in the merchandising realm of your business, right? So not only did I not offer $20 to $40 items, I've now gone up to pretty much most of my stuff is a lot higher because I've investing in a whole different way, right? And then 2, I no longer offer those really big sizes that I was able to offer when I'm printing on my own personal items, right? Which is hard because in the retail world, I've said this before because this was my big hurdle, even whenever, I've had conversations with Rob about this, is unfortunately in the fashion world, anything bigger than a large is considered a plus size person. So if you were an extra large, 1X, 2X, 3X and above, you are in the fashion world what's considered a plus size. I don't think extra large is plus, but they do. So imagine this. My least size that I sell is a 2X and 3X, right? But I need that extra large. So I had to make a decision. Do I get stuck with all this merchandise that is for 2X and 3X and suck it up, and now I only can sell through from small to large, right? Or do I try to invest in this other bigger size? So I had to make the decision to cut off extra large because I can't afford it. I'm not there yet. When I'm there yet, y'all, I will have every size for y'all. The whole point of that conversation is like for this year, one of the things that I would like to do is kind of focus on finding more brands that expand to extra large, right? Because there are some, but you just have to find them, which is this training that I've been taking. And part of this, I think they're called Boutique Hub. I think is what I told you, or Hub Boutique, something like that. Go look them up. They're on Instagram. It's not a secret, guys. I'm not trying to hold any information. You can join. I joined, but it's a very informative. If this is kind of what do you call it? A business that you're interested in doing, not graphic t-shirts. This is not for the graphic t-shirts or you're making your own stuff type of stuff. This is for really people who have online boutiques or are really trying to sell like fashion stuff and so forth. But anyway, I found that on their website, they actually offer brands that carry up to an extra large that are not considered plus size. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that is my goal, is to kind of like really network into this new group of vendors who offer these extra larges. So those who did follow me because of the bigger sizes that I was able to offer will come back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The pricing, I can't help. You know, as some of y'all know, like, I get this, it's a recession, but I promise you, if you go to the mall, you are paying way more for that item than I would probably sell it to you for. And they have such they get it for so much way cheaper than I do because they're buying in like thousands. Okay. Versus I'm buying in little bitty batches of a dozen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but on top of that, like I know that you have to say that because it's like something that you're selling, but you don't have to backtrack for that. Like the thing is, anybody listening to this, anybody that should know, it's like this is how you provide for your family, and this is like the money you make. Mm-hmm. Like the price has to be set at some place, and everybody knows everything's on the rise. But the only thing we're saying is, rather than going to a different store where you don't know where the money's going, it's just going to a bigger company or whatever, and it just gets distributed. Rather than doing that, if you really like Marisol's brand and you want to support her in that way, we're just saying, rather than spend the money on something that you go for school shopping or something, maybe look into her brand, see if there's anything you can add to your style and things like that, and get it for a good price, because she's not like gouging your eyes out. It's not like super luxury. Like,
I wish I could.
Yeah,
I wish I could be charging $500 for an item. That girl that's leaving us, she had her niche of customer though. She'd only import things from Europe. So, I mean, what would be an extra large for her is really like a freaking medium for us. But anyway.
Yeah, but you're doing it in a sense that like you're staying up to date on the fashion. You're staying up to date on seasons.
Yeah.
You're staying up to date, and you're always bringing in new merch. So the best thing to do is, if you do support Marisol and you want to stay up to date on current fashion things, that'd be one of the reasons to buy, because then you're always kind of in season, and then you're also getting stuff, and you're also supporting somebody that you look up to, or whatever have it that you're listening to.
Or, you know, you find something in common with me, which I think is what a lot of you ladies do. And I have a lot of the women who, you know, these ladies who are my patrons, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, we totally have a relationship. It's crazy how people who were just your followers at one point are now like your friends. And it's crazy because like we share certain stories, or, you know what I'm saying? We share certain things that are happening in our lives and events and so forth. And it's really cool because these are people that I probably would have never met had it not been because of my brand or my social, you know, me being on social media and so forth. You know, I appreciate the patronas, the ladies that are part of my Discord. Those are the ones that I come to a lot for. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, y'all, so I'm about to release this. What do y'all think about that? You know, when I did, y'all, so I still have a bunch of mystery boxes. So if you haven't jumped on that, I'm doing the free shipping until the end of the month. But I would honestly suggest
end of January, right?
I'm sorry. Yes, end of January. What did I say?
You said end of the month.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. So that you guys can jump on that. I mean, I've been very generous because I want the space on my shelves. So, you know, I think the boxes are probably over the $250 value that I said it is.
Yeah.
But it's because, you know, I really need to make space on my shelves. And they're not old items, but they are like, you know, last season's items. And again, like Juan just said, because I have to stay on trend, because I am part of the fast fashion world. You know what I'm saying? There's new things coming in every time. However, I do try to, when it comes to my jewelry, because I'm an accessory whore, and I know it's like, why are you saying that? I am. I really am. I love accessories. I think they just make a whole outfit. I do try to find, and I'm going to end with this. I try to find jewelry that is like not going to go out of style. And a lot of my jewelry, I do bring in seasonal jewelry, but I don't buy a lot of it because I know I'm just not, I don't want to get stuck with it, you know? Yeah. So a lot of the things that I buy I'm a big time hoop person. I love hoops. And so those are kind of like, so most of the things that I've purchased is because that's probably my style and that's kind of what I like. And I feel like you can always have a good pair of hoops, you know, especially if you're not into buying like, you know, a nice pair of hoop earrings that are real gold are going to cost you a good little $300 to $400. And that's assuming they don't have no stones or no nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think I have a pair of hoop earrings that have, you know, little diamonds going around here that are real. And I think they cost, I mean, I don't know, they were like a little bit over $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but anyway, my point to that is that my goal for this year is I want to kind of, and I know I'm going to leave out a lot of the sort of the people that kind of, I for some reason have a young fashion following based on my analytics.
Yeah.
But I am into comfy clothes.
Yeah.
And so I really want to start doing a lot of the units that are comfy. But at the same time, some people don't want to wear leggings because you don't want to look like, or like, I remember someone said, I don't work out, so why would I wear leggings, right?
Well, I think you're overthinking it because the thing is like you're thinking like the fan base you already have, but the one thing you got to keep in mind is that all the young people are going to get old eventually. Like they're going to, you know what I'm saying? Like they're going to get older. Some of them do like to lounge around. So like, don't worry about what other people, don't make your fan base kind of sway your thinking. Mm-hmm. Do what you want to do and your fan base will trust what you're doing just because they follow you because they like your taste. So you have nothing, like you shouldn't let any of them sway your thinking because really they're following you for a reason. They're buying your stuff for a reason because you don't. There are some people that do this like part-time and that, you know, sometimes they'll just like get an item because it's a big seller on like Shopify and they're like, I'm going to put it on my store. Yeah. And they're just trying to get it out there. You do a lot of the research of fashion, what's new, what's in it. Like you're doing research, you're putting a lot of time, effort, energy into it. And so I think if your fans really do appreciate you, they'll know like, I'm buying this because she knows what's up. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have the same taste and you're doing all the research.
And I'm
like
hooking y'all up with some good dupes.
Yeah, you're not just doing it on a whim. And I think that's one thing that you can actually tell your clients, like, no, everything I do, like I'm on top of the fashion stuff. I know all the stuff. Like I'm in it. So just understand, like I think your fan base likes that. And so if something catches their eye, they'll buy it. But for the most part, just do what you feel like, man, I think I'm going to start going in this direction. Just do it. Yeah. That's what I would say.
That's my goal right now. It's like I want to find. It's gonna be cute. Now we can't always look raggedy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. Trust me. Like 99% of the time, I like to be comfy, and you know, the winter lends itself for you to be like layered up to where you can be. Summertime, not so much for us. But I'm finna have a bunch of them loose ass dresses for the summer, so all the ventilation can come in during the heat, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to give y'all an update of what's going on. I don't think I've kind of like had come on here and talked about, you know, what I'll be doing and focusing on. But right now, my biggest focus is Her Apparel and expanding the Her Apparel and It's Marisol Herrera, you know, brand together and, you know, make it one. And then, you know, Penny and Sunny Kids, you know, that was a brand that I thought about, and I thought it would be cool for them to do. And although I'm also not good at keeping up with their social media, At the Story does great. So I will be transitioning their store as my girls grow. Y'all have to remember, you know what I'm saying? I will probably, because they're my models, I more than likely will no longer carry baby stuff now, because now Sunny is 2. So, you know, their fashion will also change, because now, you know, I have someone who thinks she's 5 going on 15. So she doesn't want to have unicorns and flowers on her shirts anymore, because those are for babies, she says. So, you know, I need to do a photo shoot for them. So all this is coming back, y'all, and I'm like so excited about it. You know, just getting life together, getting my house organized and the branding organized. And I'm excited to bring y'all, you know, a lot more. So if you haven't yet, come on over to herappareltx.com. Get you one of them mystery boxes. You will not regret it. I promise you. It's like you can't. And then use first 50 to get the free shipping. So,
if you want to see what's in the box too, you can go to her Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Yeah, at herappareltx.
Yeah.
And you can go on there and, you know, get you one.
She has it where she's actually loading one of the boxes up so you can see what it looks like.
And it's a lot. So I'm excited for y'all to check it out. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I will see y'all next week. Bye.